Right, episode 7, December 7th. We got a great show for you tonight. I can't wait. With our guest, author Stuart Miller, a strong member of the X platform that helps other indie authors and entertainers get themselves out there. So we're going to have a great discussion with him on how X can help all of us indie people out there working hard, as well as plug his own work for his great book. I tell you, I'm looking forward to it. Tonight's cocktail, my standby Crown and 7. I'm telling you, I'm going to pick up Crown as a sponsor if it kills me. Oh, but anyway, please look, before we get started, please remember to follow me here on X at Cav Literature. Also, we have our audio-only version of the streaming show on Spotify. Cocktails with Cav there. Please go follow us there. Also a great platform for our audio-only version. And look, if you want to support the show and help us continuing bringing you interviews with great authors, entertainers, and artists, we have the QR code up all show long. All you have to do is scan it, go straight to Buy Me a Coffee. Look, buy us a cheap cup of coffee and help us keep the show going. And look, if you really want to get crazy, think about some Cocktails with Cav merch. I tell you what, that's a great way to support the show and get you some swag. Really good swag. Heck, we got all kinds of great stuff. We got just everything. Look, I'm telling you, some good merchandise without a logo. And of course, I'm partial to the cocktail glass, which I'm waiting anxiously for so I can have it here on the show. But anyway, look, enough goofing off. Let's get to a great show. Again, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the stage the writing community's friend on X, author Stuart Miller. Oh, how you doing, my friend Stuart? I'm so glad you could join us today for the show, man. I appreciate you taking the time to be on with me.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it, humbled by it, and it's an honor. So thank you very much. And
ladies and gentlemen, at least in the X community, you probably know Stuart very, very well. At Arthur_S_Miller. He does so much hard work on X, helping indie authors and creators across the platform and engages with them. And Stuart, man, how do you get so much of that time to help everybody else, man? You're so selfless in it. I have to tell you.
Well, it's not always easy, I'm going to be honest, because when I'm doing my day-to-day, I'm juggling Twitter and my day-to-day responsibilities.
Right.
So
right.
I'm between my personal computer, my laptop, and my phone, I'm always connected. I'm checking it pretty much all throughout the day. Even when I'm working, even when I'm at my jobs, I'm still trying to stay on top of it. Some days it's easier than others, but I just feel like I'm able to connect with so many people, and there's so many people out there that need support or want support, and they, social media, the whole point of it is to interact with people, connect with people, and bring people together, and have a community of people from all walks of life and all backgrounds, and for me it's really important to just try to be as active as I can and just do my part to try to make a positive difference in the community, and try to.
Well, I don't think it's lost on everybody. I tell you, I know just from interacting with you and looking at some of the comments on some of your posts, it's just everybody's so appreciative, because it is. I mean, you've helped me immensely, I know, and I mean, just so many other people, and just as long as we can let we appreciate it face to face, and I'm sure some people are just that you've helped along the way are just glad to meet you here on the show, and get to see you and get to meet you and get to know you for sure.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm a big believer in giving back. Giving more than what I take. And for me, it's not about what I'm getting in return from it. What I get in return from it is, the satisfaction of just knowing that I've given back, that I've helped other people, that I've, supported people in whatever way I could, to the best of my ability. So, I mean, really, I don't ever expect anything back from it. I just do it because I want to, so I enjoy it. I enjoy every part of what I do on Twitter or X and helping people to the best of my ability.
No. Well, it is. It's so awesome. Well, look, I tell you what, enough about everybody else and all the great stuff you do to help them. I tell you, Stuart, I'd love to talk about your work if we could. Sure. You're also an author, part of the writing community on X, and, which sometimes I think goes overlooked by a lot of people that you're helping. But, we're here, got your site pulled up behind us there, and just if you could tell us a little bit about your work and what you're doing to get that out there for everyone.
So I mean, my primary focus is Twitter. I've ventured into other social media platforms. I'm just not as I just don't like those platforms as much as I do Twitter, because I just have a much bigger following on Twitter. And, for me, it's just, I've invested so much into Twitter, and people, know me. And so I just try to not overload myself with too many different social media platforms. So I'm promoting my book as much as I can. I'm not an expert by any means on self-marketing and promoting. So I'm just doing what I know, what I see other people doing, and make tweaks. If something is not working, I try something different. But yeah, that's just Twitter is my main platform, and then my website. And then my Facebook, which I rarely use, but it's there. So
and I tell you, I think you're probably not alone on the marketing end. It's as indie creators, we're all just, it's a competitive world we're in, that's for sure. And Definitely. I tell you what, even the way you helped others kind of inspired me with this show. I love to talk to people and get them on here and hopefully introduce people to them on a little more personal and human level, because you are right on X. I mean, that's one of the keys, engaging and having that community and trying to help everyone else, so
exactly. A lot of people are like, why, don't be all about the numbers, and don't be all about trying to grow too fast. And there is a balance between growing your account but having quality, having quality people to support you. You don't want to follow bad actor accounts, but you want to be smart about the people who you're supporting and who are supporting you, because just like in your personal life, the people who you associate with is a representation of who you are. It's a representation of your judgment of the people that you want to be surrounded with and that you want to be representing you, because you don't want to have people who are just going to trash talk you and talk about you behind your back and basically disrespect you behind your back, but then be friendly and upfront with you to your face. Like, of course, no one's perfect. There's always going to be those people who are just, not supportive. And then you figure it out the hard way or after the fact or whatever the case is. But for me, it is important to grow your account, because the more people who support you, you can support them back. And the more people who support you, you appear under the, there's those categories on Twitter of people to know, so you can find people through associations of the people who you're following. And it's a whole chain reaction of being able to connect with, more people. So it's all about your support system. The more people who support you, the more people you can support, and that's what it's all about, is supporting each other and, supporting each other's work and projects and so forth. So
Yeah, and I think that gets lost on a lot of people because it does you no good to have 10,000 followers if you never interact or they don't interact with you. And it really is, I think at some level, trying to get the reins on social media for people to realize that, hey, it's a networking tool, but it's also, like you said, quality over quantity for sure. Because
that's exactly it.
That networking capability. I've made so many great friends. I mean, some of them have been on the show, and when we discuss things on X, it's just a much more fulfilling experience,
Exactly. Some people have said, well, you have however many followers that you have, but you're never going to even interact with all of them. It's like, then if you were a celebrity, many celebrities out there have millions of followers. You have, a lot of high profile people in entertainment, actors and so forth, who have millions and millions and millions of followers, but they're only following like maybe a few thousand, or they're only following a few hundred. What are you going to say about that? So why do you want to express dissatisfaction or have an issue with someone who has 20, 30, 40, 50,000 followers, but then you don't want to say anything about people who are in the celebrity world who have millions, and they're not going to interact with any of those people. Probably they don't even interact with probably 5% of those people. They do tweets, they might interact with a very small percentage of those people. I'm probably interacting with more people with my fewer numbers than what many celebrities do personally with their followers.
Right.
So to me, it's like there's not really much of a difference. I'm much more, and every celebrity is different. There are celebrities out there that are interactive with their fans, that they are interactive. They do try to interact with as many people as they can with what their time allows, being a celebrity or a high profile person. Everyone is different. But again, it just comes down to, try to interact with the people who support you. They're supporting you for a reason. If they're going to support you for a reason, support is a two-way street. It's a two-way street. And if you want to support me, I want to support you. That's just my mentality. That's just, my philosophy.
Yeah, and I think part of it is, basic human interaction translated into your utilization of social media,
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell us about your book, Stopping a Dangerous Revolution. It definitely looks like an interesting read. Tell us a little about it.
So, some people have asked me about, why did I even call it that, and why do I only have 13 chapters? And I strategically planned out the book as best as I could for a first-time book. So, being in my faith, 13 is a lucky number. So that's why I specifically picked 13 of what I felt were popular cultural and social issues. So I selected 13 because it's a lucky number for us. And what I did was I picked the topics that I felt were the biggest and most hottest topics, culturally and socially, like favoritism, cheating, your freedom of expression, bullying, judging people. I picked a lot of the and all the topics that I've discussed in my book, I have personally experienced firsthand or witnessed it firsthand. So everything in the book is firsthand experience. It's not.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just going to ask, I assume social media plays a big part in some of this analysis in the book?
Believe it or not, social media actually plays minimal to what's in my book. Most of what I've experienced, most of what's in my book is through family, through friends through schooling and just through like life, day-to-day life in person. So very minimal of it is through social media.
Yeah, as far as the impetus for the causes of the chapters, huh? So,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I imagine it'd be equally applicable on some of the
Of
things
course.
you see going on online, and it's a fascinating translation from regular face-to-face human interaction to social media, obviously.
It is, but the concepts are still the same. You can have bullying both in person and cyber. You can have favoritism, freedom of expression, your freedom of speech. Your cheating. A lot of the topics, like you said, they are applicable to online, to the online world, not just the in-person world. But it's just the in-person world is what inspired me, to do this book.
Yeah, well, it definitely. So you already have. Where can people get a hold of your book if they want to read it?
So it's on Google, it is on Amazon, it's on Barnes and Nobles, on Apple Books, Goodreads, through Lulu.com, Draft to Digital, and there's a bunch of different platforms from Draft to Digital that it's available through. But the most common place, I guess you could find it would, that most people would know about would be Google, Barnes and Noble, Amazon, and Apple Books.
Oh, outstanding! And are all those links on your website?
Oh yeah, I've made
great.
sure. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, in case people are wondering, at the top of the screen, I don't know if you can see it, Stuart, but we have a promo QR code up at the top of the screen, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in the audience and want to go look at all the options available for getting Stopping a Dangerous Revolution, you can just QR code and take you straight to Stuart's site and get you to it. But it definitely it seems like it's very, very applicable to today's world, and I hope everybody can get a hold of your book and go visit your site and definitely check it out.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to be honest. The book title was not originally what I called it. So I later changed it to something that was a little bit more fitting for what the book's about.
Ooh, a scoop on Cocktails with Cav. Can we get some insight on what was the original name?
So the original name was more of a technical mindset. It was the glitches within the human race, and my family was like, it just doesn't sound right. It just doesn't have a good ring to it. So then I really thought more about it and realized they were right. So I then changed it to what it is now. But really the whole point of the title is to say basically that the path that society is on, the path that we are going down, is not productive. It is not encouraging. It's not healthy. It's really dangerous to so many different people because of the different issues in life that many people face, with mental health, with self-esteem, with confidence, believing in themselves, and so forth. So the whole point of the book is to say, look, these are some popular areas that are problematic in society, and these are things that are within our power to change. We just have to want to change. We have to want to make these changes. And I'm not saying that everything in my book is perfect per se, but the concept and the thought process is something that can be applied, if people want to, but it's a very thought-provoking book. So it's really going to make you think. It's not a novel where, I just want to get onto the next page. I just want to get onto the next page and see what happens next with the storyline. It's not one of those types of books. This is It's a thought-provoking book that's really going to make you ask yourself questions. It's going to make you think, and it's going to make you it's for self-reflection. So
Oh, well, that's awesome. And I know from reading some of your posts on X, you do a fair amount of mental health advocacy and help in that area. Do you do anything outside of say your social media accounts in regular life? I guess we'd have to say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm gonna be a presenter at my job for mental health to talk about my firsthand experiences with it, and even to this day, I have multiple mental health issues. I have multiple. I'm not ashamed to say it because there's a lot of people out there that do, and there's a lot of people that may not feel comfortable or want to put it out there for people to know about, because of, responses that, they might get. But the more you hide it and the more you try to keep it concealed, it's not going to help. It doesn't do any good, and it's not going to benefit you. So yeah, I absolutely, mental health is definitely a big part of it too. So
well, yeah, and I know there's a certain amount of what's the term? How do I want to phrase it? I guess there's a certain amount of historical stigma attached to mental health issues
there is.
And yeah, and I know I find that to be a big problem. I'm as a veteran, here in real life when I talk with other people, and PTSD is, of course, a huge issue. We have a whole generation of young people that have, experienced the traumas of service.
Yes.
And
thank you for your service, by the way.
Oh, I appreciate it. But yeah, it's definitely nothing compared to, I think, winning that battle of the stigma, as far as, say, service members with PTSD are concerned. That's half the battle is let them overcome that stigma, to ask someone.
Exactly. I mean, I have PTSD too, among other things, and I've been asked, well, where did you get all your mental health issues from? That's a common question I've been asked, and they're like, well, did you serve? Were you in the military? What happened? I was never in the military. All my mental health has come from domestic abuse. So, that's where most of it has come from. And it's just something that I've come to accept. It's, it's just a part of my life. Not going to say that every day is easy to get through, because it is not easy to get through when you feel like when you're living in a mental prison. It's a battle. It's a battle in many, many different ways. Some mental health issues I've overcome, but many of them I still have, and it's just a part of who I am, so.
Well, yeah, and it is, the acceptance and making a move towards everybody getting better. That's got to be the goal, So, but Stuart, I tell you, your book, I think everybody should get a hold of it and check those out, because if it's not applicable to yourself, it might be applicable to somebody else,
Exactly.
And yeah, so by all means, please, everyone. Stuart, I can't thank you enough for joining us for the show and giving me a chance to thank you for all your help that you do for everyone in the indie world on X, but also to discuss your important work. So everybody, ladies and gentlemen, please go check out Stuart's book, Stopping a Dangerous Revolution. You can definitely, like we talked about, get to his site with the QR code at the top, and it's available in a wide range of places. And please, by all means, go follow Stuart on X at author
Thank you.
S. Miller, and because he's just a phenomenal member of the writing community and the X community in general. So, Stuart, I want to thank you, man, for taking the time to come on the show.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. I mean, I love having, I love being able to support you and being able to, help everybody. And thank you very much for inviting me. Again, it was quite an honor to be, invited onto, your podcast. It's just an awesome experience. So thank you for everything that, you're doing to help the writing community, the indie community, and just people in general. Because, it takes shows like this to really make a positive difference and to help people to just get more to get out there. So thank you for all that you do.
Oh, well, no problem. And that is the idea. Everybody get out there. So again, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, Stuart Miller, author, great member of the X community. Go take care of him at Author S. Miller on X. And Stuart, again, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you as well. And I do hope that you have an awesome rest of your evening. And everyone out there, just be safe, be healthy, and take care of yourself. And, just believe in yourself.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Stuart. I appreciate you.
Thank you. You're welcome. You have a good one.
You too.